Very, very warm, good evening. This is Arunava Chaudhuri. You are live on my YouTube channel, Arun Foot. It is Thursday, the 13th of August, 2026. And yeah, it's still 30 degrees here in Germany. It's very hot and humid. Wow. So, and a small story before I start about anything else. Yeah, my nose is a little bit working itself in this heat. Got a fan under my feet working here, and it's hot, but still, I thought I'll come online today and talk to you guys and try and speak to you. And we'll talk about the AFF decision in regard to opting out of the FIFA ASEAN Cup. We'll talk about playing rather Brazil. We'll talk about yesterday in regard to the results that East Bengal FC and FC Goa achieved in the ACL2 qualifiers. We'll surely talk about something which I posted today about Xavi Hernandez joining the Netherlands as national team head coach. And a reminder, as always, at the start, please do like, share, subscribe, help me grow the community at Arun Foot. We stand at 4,733, meaning we are 267 subscriptions away from reaching and the 5,000 mark. So do help me grow the community. Follow me also on Instagram. Follow me also on X, Twitter, however you want to call it. Follow me also on other things. And yeah, visit Arunfoot as well. And watch my short videos. As I said, I did something earlier today in regard to East Bengal winning sensationally against Al Arabi and FC Goa. A poor FC Goa eliminated from the ACL2. Hi, Shoham. Welcome back. Ashish almost broke down on stream today. He's sick and tired of the stupid AF decisions. Shoham, yeah, what to say? There are two or three sides, you know, to this whole story. One thing is, and this is what someone in the AFF said a few weeks back to me. If we have the opportunity to play Brazil, we shouldn't turn it down. I said, okay, take it. That's right. Um, okay, I get that. But my simple point is, um, if you've sorted out your window already, or rather your window was sorted for you, um, you know, with the FIFA matches, if you are in talks with SAF to uh, play in the SAF championship as defending champions, and I'm taking both the windows. I'm taking September, October. I'm taking also the November window into this whole conversation. And then why don't you then, speak to the concerned authorities or agencies and push those things, let's say, to next year? Why is it not possible, right? Yeah. And and so therefore, for me, that's the whole problem in this process of how to do it. You know, there was a time 5 years back when some guys going on podcast and saying info violations 500 crore, saying three guys, two of them have left, only one is left. So anyone who's selling dreams about Indian football needs to first of all have some sort of substance, right? And when we talk, and you're saying last 5 years, no, it's actually um, 4 years, because India was banned on 15th of August 2022, and post that in September you had the elections, in October you had the under 17 women's World Cup. um, I'm fed up. I'm fed up of people selling us dreams, doing this, doing that. um, we have to get back to reality, you know. And so therefore, for me, um, you know, so to me, I don't know where we're going with this. and it is how we get back to reality and do the work. So therefore, let's wait and see what happens. So will India play any friendly in September? Damien, there is no clarity on that. The Brazil match is the fixed one on the 3rd of October. Um, and what happens now around it will have to be worked out. And that the AFF was surprised when you go to FIFA and say, listen, can we send a B team? They didn't even say under 23s. From what I heard of FIFA is that they said, oh, can we send a B team because we are set to play Brazil and the first team has to play Brazil, blah, 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 blah. And the FIFA said no, because that window has been built in such a way that you can play 4 matches. And uh, you know, um, so, you know, it's, yeah, it's something which is very bizarre. It's cool in Kolkata. Then Vikilal, enjoy yourself. Because again, 30 degrees here, and our housing is not built to keep the heat out, but rather to keep the heat in. Yeah, so not so nice. Can you please tell us what's the reason on air for management pulling out of FIFA Asian Cup just because of Brazil friendly? Yes. Abhishek, that's what I just explained. That for them, they see the priority, and you know, uh, you know, and um, so therefore, that's the reality. Chaturals are looking to buy the license, but I don't understand how legally it will be done. Show him they've been going around, they've tried to buy out Diamond Harbor. They're trying to put down Interkashi from what I've heard. Now the whole thing with Jamshedpur. Again, they have been relegated again, and the AFF has to come out and clearly state, which I've not heard. Can a team, because we are out of the so-called pure franchise age, and you know, can, for example, Izol sell its rights to those guys in Nagaland? For example, can other teams, can a license of Dempo, can a license of Chanmari, can a license of Delhi FC, which is interesting. No one's talking about it, right? Supposedly United Kolkata is looking at it. Can be sold, or can an ISL license be sold? Right. That a team moves from A to B and a new team is constituted, that is a franchise move. That is possible. But can a team which is in a lower division actually buy the place of a team which is in a higher division? That nobody is able to do. Right. So, so that's the problem for me, right? Kakashi says Ranjit is the only one that talks about big things, and even if its PR is doing something, you lot sound so miserable. Consider talking about SAF and AF if we want to win or participate. Kakashi, talking big, anyone can talk big. But you know what? I live in reality. I don't live in La La Land. I don't sell false dreams, fake dreams. I don't try to scam the system to try and sell dreams which are not there. Right? I can sell you a dream and say, listen, this is possible. Let's say in 10, 15 years. But for that, the work needs to be done. The groundwork needs to be done. If nobody does the groundwork, if we're doing age fraud, we are playing grassroots teams and winning so-called tournaments, that is taking us nowhere, right? We are not even good enough at under 17 level. Where were those so-called boys who were there great supposedly last year? Where did they play the under 17 Asian Cup? We're not good enough, right? And that is the problem, right? Wake up to reality where we are. I would love India to play a World Cup. I would love for us to win matches to get to the latter stages of the World Cup. We are far, far away from that reality. Every day, a person like Ranjit has been around for 15 years. To ask him the question, where is the talent that he's produced? Right? Since Tata Football Academy and Ranjan Chaudhuri left Tata Football Academy, India has not been producing quality talent. And that is the last 20 years. Anyone involved in grassroots and youth football, and you've not produced anything, ask those people the question, my friend. Don't, he's not doing something. You're creating a fake narrative. Reality is something else, my friend. But hey, live in La La Land. Think that we're something big. We're gonna do something great, right? Incredible. Can I just say that we should now start playing against side like Brazil and stop playing against teams like Singapore and Malaysia? Yeah, sure. That is what the AFF president has hinted at, right? If countries like Jordan, Uzbekistan can race ahead, they were behind us. Can India not? Can we only talk about SAF? Is not wrong to sell false dream? Yes. Kakashi, yes. And Uzbekistan was never behind us. If anyone says again, and don't look at rankings and say, oh, they were Uzbekistan since their independence or since the creation of the country post the USSR has always been better than us, right? So therefore, these examples that you guys give are so rubbish, are so baseless. It makes no sense, right? And Jordan, when was Jordan behind us in the last 10, 15 years? Do you know how good we are? Again, even under Stephen, when our rankings were good, were these countries worse than us? We can have a conversation about the Southeast Asian countries, but in West Asia, I doubt if there are teams to have been beaten in the last 10 years. It is not 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11. When we used to organize the Nehru Cup, we used to challenge Syria at the time. Look at where Syria is. They had a big war. The dictator has been removed and still they were better because we are not doing. Ask Ranjit one question. What have you done the last 15 years? 5 years ago, you were telling us, oh, you know what? I have a team for 2030. Then you're saying 2034. Then next time you'll say 2038. Right? I've lived in reality. I have done the work, my friend. I don't need to live in this la la land or this rubbish that people talk about. India should play in much come possible Brazil friendly ASEAN Cup, AFC Asian Cup, Asian Games, U15. We should F don't care. No, see, and that is what you don't understand. What has the Asian Games going to bring us? 3 years ago, we had the problem that India said, oh, you know what, we want to play. And then you have to praise the AFF. Listen, that's the sad part of the whole thing. If you're saying Asian Games you want to play, 3 years ago, Kalyan Chaubey ensured that we played the Asian Games. What was the value? Government of India saying, oh, you need to play as 3 senior players. Don't send a younger team. You guys don't understand these things, how these things work, right? What is the value of this? What is the value of the Under 15 World Cup? It's not a World Cup. It's a bloody festival. It's about exposure. It's not about winning. You're right. But hey, you guys know better. You understand football. No, you don't. Learn football. Understand football first before you get into a conversation. I'm fed up of these people who say, oh, we should do this, we should do that, blah, blah, blah. You don't understand. If you don't understand, don't get into a conversation. Sorry, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Is Bajaj wrong? Every other country already has team has started prepping for 50. We have not. Why is this not an issue for AFF and you guys? Kaka started. Tell me who has started under 15 preparations. It's great. It's great that people are saying, across Europe, it's holidays, right? There are no preparations happening in Europe for an under 15. Maybe some obscure country is doing that for the fun of it, right? Either most kids are on holiday or they're preparing with their team for their respective competitions. So you believe these infos that these people give you where they don't even know the basics of how these things work. You believe this rubbish. Yes, European countries have an under 15 program, but what they do? They do regional camps, national camps. But are they doing this now in the summer? No, they're not. They're going to do one most probably in some stage in September for a week, maybe 10 days. And then they pick a team. Do they have a system? Yes, we don't even have a basic system, right? Why are we forcing the AFF always to do these long camps? Why was the AFF having an elite academy? Why did we have the Indian Arrows programs? Because the clubs and academies don't do the groundwork that they need to do in regard to football. In this case, Hadley, yeah. But hey, you know better. This is part of the problem, my friends. You guys think you know and understand and believe people who tell you something where factually it is utter rubbish. Prove to me that XYZ country at the moment is preparing for that under 15 World Cup. Listen, it's a festival and they understand. But hey, we want to win under 15, great. And under 17, we're starting to lose everything. Why? Because we're not good enough. You don't understand that grassroots and youth football is about developing the best possible talent, not about the immediate results. If I don't figure out that this kid who's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 can go on to become a professional, That is your biggest problem. Winning at under 15 has no value. How many times has Nigeria won the under 17 World Cup? Let me just check. Nigeria, if I'm not wrong, is still record champions of the under 17 World Cup, right? What has it brought to them? They're not even good enough, right? One second. Let me just check. Right? Nigeria, record champions 5 times since 1985 to 2015, right? What has it brought? That, yeah? So that's the problem now. Germany, for the first time, won the tournament in 2023. Right? If I look the list, Ghana, twice champions. Mexico, twice champions. Of course, Brazil 4 times. Germany once. France once. Portugal are the current champions. Russia won. Saudi Arabia has won it. Switzerland has won it with their Super Gen. England has won it once. You know what? In India. Right? So this is what it is all about. Is it about development or is it really about other things? Bangladesh, Sri Lanka are the contender for FIFA ASEAN Cup replacement of India. Yeah, Ashraf, I think Bangladesh, is the first choice. So let's wait and see. Decathlon came last moment and really gave club good deal for ball because they were ready to even sell tickets and jerseys in particular city in which as a club play. Okay, Shom, I don't know in what context. As a rumor, Fanny would Uruguay cover true or some PR stunt. Roshan, at the moment, Uruguay has certain matches playing in Asia. I don't know if they still have a slot free. I haven't heard anything, to be very honest, but let's wait and see. Hi, Apex. Welcome back. As I mentioned earlier, which you didn't agree, but all these things are done to win the upcoming election in December. Shoham, the upcoming elections in December will be one independent of what happens around friendlies. Please get this into your head. Do you think that in the AFF elections are decided on organizing a Brazil match? Does anyone think that? Right? Look at how Kalyan Chaube came to power. Then you know that all these things that, so many people are talking about. Guys, there is so much of lack of knowledge and understanding in the Indian football ecosystem today. That is the most worrying part of all of this. And I know that this line that you're saying, especially Bengali media will now sell you that. No, because he did this, he's going to get re-elected. No, there are other reasons for re-election or not. Why are AFF paying 61 advance when they themselves have no money to give to salary to employees, but they have money to spend on these users friendlies? Show them they don't have 60 crores. That's another myth. If the AFF had 60 crores, then we wouldn't be talking about ISL and I-League, IFL having those financial problems, right? So welcome to these things, right? It will not. Do you think, given the losses that the AFF have had in the last couple of years in regard to finance, that they have 60 crores on the side to spend? Seriously? Guys, just think, just please once use your brain to think if these things that people are putting out is logical or not. That the AFF president might have to raise 60 crores is a different thing than AFF having to pay in advance. Because the AFF doesn't have 60 crores. As you said, employees, they've cut down on their structure, they're cutting down, they're getting rid of people because they don't have enough money. So if only Fancourt, who was the only one, again, put the bid again. Apex, maybe it looks like it, right? The whole hype around Z and all, they are coming. Yeah, hype is nice to have, but then reality sadly strikes and then, we are there where we are. So, yeah, those are realities. The amount of damage done on this regime is insane. And I can't believe how much down we have gone. Any new president comes, I think, first 5 years will go in resolving all these issues. Yeah, sure. You have to analyze, understand where are our problems, where are our issues, and how can we solve them. And we have too many. As All India Football Federation, we have too many issues, but the issues don't stop with them. Right? It is across, Churchill Brothers is most likely to place Jamshedpur FC. They tried with Intercash Damara, but related because starter is most likely to give it. Apex, like, wait and see. I would raise the question as club. The clubs have to answer that and see. and if they can do it. A club relegated to the third tier trying to buy the license of a team which pulls out from the first tier. I don't know in which country that would work. And then we have a governance issue, right? Right? That's the problem. That is your real problem, no? Z, who were talking so much that we will be interested in football broadcast and grassroots when United, they have not shown any interest. Who says that they're talking too much interested in Indian football broadcast? Show him. Where did Z say that? Again, that's what I'm saying. Show him. You guys listen, watch, read what people are putting out there. Has anyone from Z Sports told you picking up the Indian football rights? That's your problem. They only said about grassroots that we want to spend 15% of I think profits on grassroots. They said nothing else, right? These are the realities. So Ranjit will blame AFF if we don't qualify for 2034 World Cup, which actually is not even a question, but he will in come and say that AFF didn't support me, that's why we couldn't go. Maybe, sure. This formula of winning at any matter has caused a lot of harm to Indian footy. People portray Scooter like as the next coming of Pep Guardiola is calling Indians who are not supporting him as traitors. Renner, he's the biggest traitor of them all. You're selling again selling dreams, selling hopes. That's okay, right? Indian football is at a stage where that's most probably the only thing left. But selling people these fake dreams, right? Out of reality, my friend. Sorry, I've said, if you think your team is so good, come here. Let's see how you do against Bundesliga academies. You will not do it because you play against grassroots academies, right? You know. So that's the problem. These you 15 Jumla has to stop. We're putting too much focus on random festivals rather than treating it as a World Cup. We're winning this league. Yeah, Daniel, thank you very much. But I also said, I've said this to a friend at FIFA. I said, guys, you should have never called it World Cup and festival, and rather should have called it, I don't know, World Festival, Festival World Cup or something of the sort. You know, and let's see. Ranjit saying that India should change its mentality from participants and actually winning the competition. What's your think, sir? Show winning is yeah nice thought, but for that I need to start first of all winning games, right? Qualifying for competitions, right? And what to say, that's the problem. Winning competition is nice, but you need to get to that position of winning. High standard students, Karnataka State Football Association organizing youth leagues across every age groups. Why don't Bengal football? I feel learning from them. I can't even recall the last time Bengal had a proper U16 league. Standard students, Bengal has a different setup. The IFA via the Calcutta Football League. Actually, in the lower levels, you have age group competitions in the CFL. I don't even ask me what the fifth, fourth, third tier, what age group competition these days they are. But again, they do only the qualifying leagues for the AFF under 13, 15, and 18. They're not bothered about it. Again, this is another failure of the AFF was they never came and cleared their public difference between manager and coach. They just want to have unnecessary controversy. Shom, I still don't know why they got into that controversy, right? Again, why Bibiano, should have cleanly been done. And to me, the question is also to people in the media, why is no one calling this whole thing out? That is the mainstream media has reported about something. Some even have given Ranjit a platform. But my question to a lot of these people is why aren't you saying what the realities are? No? That is to me the biggest problem in this whole discussion that we're having at the moment, right? Where are we to take Indian football in the right direction? No, you're not, right? Scooter saying people who aren't supporting our proxies assigned by FSL to stop him, the level of delusion, yes. The best thing, FSL doesn't exist anymore, right? And that's the funny one. It doesn't exist anymore. So and those people that he says have, again, FSL would have never paid people like that, right? They're a close network themselves. The problem is that you are being anti-national, that you're selling fake dreams rather than people who are doing the work and done the work. Be around and do the work properly. your system wouldn't be running in India. I know that, right? So no, there's no point of talking. No? So FIFA World Cup happened. The current government took interest in football organized friendlies against New Zealand. According to the national news, they can't interfere and say what's going on. I hope that when the news about New Zealand came, I thought there would be some advance it was in for also, but there was none. See, Shastik, there's the other problem, right? The government spoke, New Zealand government spoke, Indian government spoke. Brilliant. You set up the games. What happens? Boom. You know what? Actually, it was a window in which India is supposed to play the South Championship. So this is also then the AFF needs to tell the government, you say, thank you very much. We'd love to do it, but we can't do it in November. Can we push it to some stage next year? But the AFF didn't do that. So, you know, so therefore, let's wait and see, right? I honestly don't know if we're heading in that right direction. Says another plan that I said will be broadcast on YouTube. And if you see, even these days, YouTube wants to come show sport to people worldwide because there's person to be more attached to the game now. See, show him what's the value for YouTube to show Indian football. Yeah, you know. So what to say? That's our problem. No? The problems are there at different levels. No? Just realizing one sec, this stream has a problem. 1 second, let me sort this out. Sorry, yeah, that seems looks better. Hey Sasha, so they was playing games against Basel, Aika, Solna. Never playing against random clubs from Mexico, Brazil. Let's get rid of yeah. Not even random clubs, whatever they are, grassroots center or something. No? ISL 2.0 should be done like give rights to Fancourt or Z or Sony, but broadcast it on YouTube as well. So any person interested in ISL and watch and fan culture can be made. Clubs can share the broadcast revenue. So where is the revenue? Again, you guys are saying as if the money is just waiting to come in, right? People are selling us, this whole thing about rights and revenue and this and that and everything. Um, where are they covering the costs, right? So it was a problem. It is a problem, right? And that's the reality. There is nothing. What is the value of YouTube, right? Jadon Sanchez a free agent now. Where did he go wrong? I'm seen as the next one who's start to free agent. What went wrong for him? He's only 26. I think he can do it in a long time now. He can always do that. Like he left Dortmund, went to match. A lot of players who've gone from Dortmund to big clubs, not all of them have been successful. Right? Nouri Sahin didn't make the cut at Real Madrid. Shinji Kagawa at Man United didn't really make the cut. Usman Dembele didn't make it at Barca, only made it at PSG. So that's your thing, no? If your transfers don't work. And counterexample, of course, Erling Haaland, Jude Bellingham. But again, can he still turn around? Yes, surely can. Chavinga's sisters have helped Malawi to the finals. One plays for Lyon, the other younger for Kansas City. David Anthem. Yeah. But this shows you the level of football, women's football, that if you have 2, 3 very good players, they can carry teams. Right? This is a very good example of 2 players, Yeah. So that's the reality. Dada Nupangi going into 5th season, would you do a video after visiting Mizoram this year? Daniel, I need to visit Mizoram first, right? That's my problem. I was speaking to someone actually in Mizoram yesterday. I haven't been to Mizoram in 9 years, to be very honest. 2017 was the last time I was there. So therefore, I need to go back to Mizoram and then, if I have time, head it there and then we can talk about it. Rumors on India playing friendly against Cape Verde, Uruguay. Rahul, it's rumors. I haven't heard anything about it. Amount of arrogance few people in AFF had at that time that FIFA doesn't have guts to ban India. No, Shwam, it's not about AFF. It's clearly about the COA. It's about Ranjit. It's about 2, 3 others. They were arrogant. I clearly said into their face, listen, FIFA is going to ban you. The letter is ready. And they said they will, who are they? They will never ban India. And this is, again, no country in the world should have the arrogance against a sporting body or against the International Olympic Committee to say, we are bigger than you. It doesn't matter if it's the United States, if it's Brazil, if it's Spain, if it's Germany, if it's Japan, if it's Australia, if it's India, someone, somewhere, doesn't matter. Right. And that is what it is. I spent money, right? I actually should ask, people like Ranjit to say, you and the COA should actually repay me all the money that I spent in 2022 to do those 2 trips, to tell you guys what to do, not to do. And you guys arrogantly said into my face, no, 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 you are wrong. You don't know your things. Never. People like you should never dare to say that into my face because I know my stuff, you don't. If you would follow what is the right way, what I would tell you, we would take Indian football really to the top, not the way you guys do it. I feel at that time when we were flying in football, we forgot to be on the ground. We were not flying. That's the first thing, right? So also a question about it's not important that who wins at U15, 17 level. You mentioned about Nigeria winning 5 times, Mexico and Ghana winning it twice. They are not very good at the senior level. So, sir, how does it matter if we can imagine his coaching staff went to, let's say, if India lost or didn't do well, at least his PR will stop. Shastik, the point is at the moment, why would I hand someone like him the national teams? Right? Don't forget, he was doing a lot of PR in 2023. Uh, uh, you know, um, so to me, look at the futsal results, right? And that is on him and on Shaji, the failure of futsal. Where's futsal today, right? So, what do you think about Enzo Fernandez? Will he leave Chelsea because tomorrow 5 p.m. BST is deadline? Chelsea have kept for this deal, but Chelsea will not consider any bid from any club. Soham, clubs can make deadlines, this and that, everything. If a player wants to leave and has an option to say, listen, I could go here, I could go there, all your deadlines have no value. The players today are more powerful than the clubs. That is your biggest problem. And therefore, if he wants to leave, he will leave, period. Right? That is, and it depends on certain things that happen at City. If Rodri is leaving, Gianni Reinders might also leave. Yeah, because his agenda gets stronger on Instagram, but AFF not giving him the full control of festival tournament. Trusting, yeah. But they should have never considered him. That's the whole point. Why are we even talking? Since you mentioned Nuri Shahin, the team I was working with for the last 6 months, FC Inter Turku, knocked out Shahin's Istanbul Başakşehir in the UEFA Conference League playoffs. Yeah. Nuri Shahin is a very intelligent person. Lovely guy. I've met him 2, 3 times, right? But again, and I think, and, so therefore for me, yeah, right? He could have been a better footballer, could have had a better career, in my opinion. Other things as well, but let's see. Yeah, failed at Dortmund now. Başakşehir is an interesting test for him, and let's see what he can achieve. Right? Is there any news regarding broadcasting at ISL? Jyotish, supposedly the bid document will be open tomorrow, and then we'll get to know. Everyone's speculating that it is fan code, so let's wait and see what happens. Dennis Undav is on the radar of Coventry City. Hopefully, he goes to Premier League and performs there. He has that's well at Brighton, but hopefully cracks it in Premier League again. Brendan, why should he go to Premier League? Coventry, sorry, he's at VfB Stuttgart. VfB Stuttgart is a much bigger team than Coventry City can ever be. So I don't. Again, it could be a money matter, but I don't know. I don't think you know you know. So that's the whole problem. So let's wait and see. Pro gave strike to same person on whom podcast he went so many times just for little thing he gave strike to Sagal. Yeah, but sure. Sagal has had to learn the lesson the hard way, sadly. Complete nonsense whenever their protest change name from AFF to Bharat, change Janaganamana to Vande Mataram. So, yeah. And even if I understand it right, the sports ministry and all these other organizations were not too bothered, right? So therefore, that's always the question about these things. So there is cricket league called TNPL, Tamil Nadu Premier League, which is being showed on YouTube, and they're getting decent viewership. I actually feel for at least 2 seasons, as it should be showed on YouTube to bring more fans. Shoham, don't compare cricket with football. And if you see, whenever there is an official YouTube streaming of a game from um, Bangladesh or from Nepal, look at their numbers and look at ours, right? Our social media numbers are sadly not as good as they could should be. So therefore, YouTube to me again, and YouTube ads only make sense if you are, if international market might be interesting, but even international, what are we doing, right? So therefore, for me, all these things are nice conversations to have, but is it of value? Is it really changing things? That's the problem, no? So then, how do you see the situation? Alvarez publicly giving statements about leaving this club he wants to join, but let go not let him leave. I know he has a release clause, but could potentially impact his career if Olivia does this until his contract gets over. So I think it is for the club to decide, and the player. Um, you know, uh, so therefore, for me, yeah, the problem is here that Julian Alvarez potentially to Arsenal, potentially to Barca. Uh, you know, so therefore, I don't know. Um, it's always difficult, right, with players leaving clubs. I'm from Coventry and a fan, but if I'm being honest, there's basically zero chance he will sign for Coventry. Already this season alone, they have spent more than the past 3 years alone. Thanks, Timmy, for the clarification. But YouTube is trying to do something and they want to come in sports. You show them they want to come in the sports market. Uh, you know, uh, uh, you know. So therefore, for me, again, you can say this X number of times. We're not getting to that point. Right, more than 37 minutes. If you haven't, do please leave a like. Sorry, let me start again. If you like what we're talking about, do leave a like. Um, Behind 9 likes so far, I think we can do better. Um, Share with others to join our conversation or conversations here on our Indian football and more. And if you haven't, do subscribe to the channel. 50-60% of people who watch the videos actually non-subscribers. We stand at 4,734 at this moment. Please join us in our conversations, and please do also watch the videos that I try and make on a daily basis. Of course, I did something today on East Bengal and FC Goa winning. East Bengal winning in the AFC Champions League 2 and FC Goa losing. And also do watch all the other content. Yesterday, exclusive chat with Bangladesh Shumit Strom on joining the New York Cosmos. Do watch that as well. And thank you, as always, for your support, guys. What Runner versus Arambol with Hiren as host of the show. Presented El Clasico next season. Okay, so just watch the video and you will understand what I'm saying. Okay, I don't, you know, um, I don't know which video you mean. Sorry. This regime has done nothing, only PR and stuffs. We will go out in round one of World Cup qualifiers. Orithro, that's a big danger, right? Um, to me, that's something which I find very dangerous because that kills the next cycle, right? That means 2030 is already over before it started. And if that happens, then the question is 2034. But, you know, and, you know, so therefore for me, um, it's a bit of a problem that where we stand at this moment in time. And honestly, I don't know if we're going to get out of it. No? It's such a mess, to say the least. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what happens. How much have you been keeping up with the Duran Cup? I actually, to be honest, I actually have been looking at results. Once in a while, I've been actually looking at matches in regard to highlights because I can't watch it live this season. And again, if I look at some of the teams, no disrespect, but the quality of the Duran Cup is very, very poor this year, right? I feel Praful Patel is unnecessarily being hated because at least he had some kind of vision, but under this current regime, I don't see any vision. Thanks to FSDL, Abhishek Yadav, Chaitana, and coach Stephen. Yeah. The problem is Praful Patel knew the people who were running it. Now you were saying FSTL, Abhishek, Chirag, and Stephen. I think the two people to actually mention even before these, um, Kushal Das, the late Kushal Das, and Sunanda Dhar, right? As CEO of the I League, those two guys were the uh, um, key drivers of things. Abhishek surely with the national team, in with support of FSDL, and but but Kushal and Sunando were the key people, and especially Kushal Das. Of course, there are things about him that some people will criticize, but Kushal ensured a lot of things for and in the name of the AFF, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that. And and I remember Sunanda and I have spoken about it a few times. That um, yeah, that Kushal knew the numbers, knew how to delegate work and all that stuff. And yeah, Hiren Musa made a parody on current state of India football and that Vivian roasted stakeholders. Okay, Sanjeev. Durham Cup is good tournament as preseason, but not real tournament. Sure, it's not a real tournament anyway. It is a preseason tournament, and this season, the preseason, even the preseason tournament is not a proper tournament. If 5 out of 14 ISL clubs participate, and all those 5 are playing because at least 4 of them are playing because there's some level of pressure on them to play because of their state governments and the army involved, then you know that sadly, sorry, the Durham Cup is not what it used to be. I, as a club personally, and that was what I was trying to explain yesterday to someone, that is a problem. So, yeah, that's part of the problem that we have at this moment, and therefore, sadly, Durham Cup is that. Why these teams from down to the fourth of division this season? Timmy, because the others said no. Because of the and again, the non-participation in Durham Cup for some teams means that is a lack of clarity on where we are going with our league system, right? That's a problem. Today, Shrilamda was really thrilling draw. Okay, Prasanjit. They pulled up because of Brazil match. Thoughts, Archana? I still think it's wrong. I think AFF needs to play the or should have played the FIFA ASEAN Cup. They should have played also the SAF with the full team. You know, and pushed the Brazil and the New Zealand friendlies to next year in free windows, right? That would have been the wise thing, in my opinion, from the FF to do. What's your thoughts on Clemens Towns in the FF because his previous experience like other members? Timmy, I don't know what Climax is doing. He's part of the committee, nothing more, nothing less. That's part of the problem. Ex players being part of committees, I don't even know what is, experience is nice to have, but he's as experience as a player. What does it help me to make decisions in the AFF? That's the problem. Hey Anupam, AFF is not serious. Why should we be? It's pathetic now. Is there no any other federal think twice or even thrice before sending an invitation? Anupam, ASEAN would not have invited us anyway, right? It was a FIFA invitation. Will they decide to invite us or not? I think they'll again, and this is what you guys don't understand is that FIFA. Why did they call India and China? Because for them, it makes sense to add India, China, and Hong Kong to the Southeast Asian market as part of the FIFA ASEAN Cup. Right? ASEAN will not invite us anyway. ASEAN is a closed thing. They are not inviting us anyway. CAFA has invited us. Right? Will they again? I don't know. So therefore, all that is the other thing that a lot of people are talking about things, not knowing how the things run in world football. This is the other big problem. Everyone has an opinion on things, right? Without knowing things. I'm really getting fed up of it. Really getting fed up of it. Everybody has an opinion on things without knowing things. Again, we're in a free world. At least I live in a free world where anyone and everyone can have an opinion. But if you don't know things, don't, and um, yeah, that's the problem, right? But the way India, the AFF also deals with these things is amateurish. That's the thing. Why did you get into this situation? Yeah, it's so sad to say. Okay. So they want to bring two more World Cup playing teams, means more money to spend as Cup. They could have earned money. Prasanjit, there are two things. Um, I don't even know who's going to play them. That's the first thing, right? And spending money, yeah, potentially. Let's see what they do, right? ASEAN, they would have earned a base price. I don't think we would have gotten more. Let's see. So I'm going to tell you a funny story about India Brazil. Go ahead, show 'em. So when Mansukh Mandavia became a sportsman, I had very high hopes from him. I attended when the chairperson was advised to Mansukh Mandavia when he was a health minister. In that whole committee, he praised Mansukh sir a lot, but after how he could not pronounce Moon Bagan and could not solve the core problem AFF could do could not do it. Yeah, Swastik, the point is you have to have understanding of sports, right? Mansukh Mandavia said, again, I did a video a few days ago, right? Um, Indian football is making excellent progress. How can he make that statement? That to me, whatever he did elsewhere, right? India and Brazil have both signed contract, but Brazil official will have first to see ground condition and facilities only, then they actually might proceed. But of course, they have signed the contract. Hopefully, things move ahead. Coham, uh, yeah, that I don't think will be an issue. Um, because if you've seen some of the games that teams like Brazil and Argentina played in some parts of the world, or even I remember what was this Premier League, some Premier League Cup no, in Hong Kong, where a few years ago in preseason. So yeah, it'll happen. Kalyan Chaube and false messiah deserves to be hated, and Indians should do protest against this third class regime. I'm protest against both of them. No? Maybe that's the easiest thing to do. Sometimes if you're messiah actually come in Indian football just to create controversy and keep Indian football in limelight for all the wrong reason. Maybe. Sir, SAF also we can't play as we will go New Zealand, so cultural stadium of preparation for SAF will go waste. Yeah, Prasenjit, but I will once say one thing. Where Khalid, again, and I don't agree with most of what Khalid does or how Khalid chooses squad and plays and whatever, but Khalid was right to say at the moment where we stand, for us, the SAF championship is our World Cup. Again, and a lot of people make jokes and memes about it, yes. But at this moment in time, because the government of India got involved, Mr. Modi got involved, New Zealand government got involved, you committed to a tournament and we've opted out of now what you're going to do with SAF. My understanding was always SAF wants India to send the full team because otherwise they will not be able to do their PR and marketing around the tournament. Let's see what happens now, right? With this withdrawal, India has destroyed good relationship with FIFA, and now India should forget the benefits from Kalyan. Now, if you still think this regime is good, I'm sorry. Arman, who says I thought this regime is good? Eh? This regime has been bad from day one. I'm the only one who said that this regime is a problem, right? So, guys, where do you get your infos from? I am the only one who fought them not to come in. But hey, you guys, this is my problem, guys. You guys think you know little to nothing what really happens behind the scenes, right? But you think to know. But do you think that FIFA and AFF relationship? Listen, Kalyan Chaube never had a relationship with FIFA. Let me break this to you. Prabhu Patel had a relationship. Kushal Das had a relationship, right? Even I have a relationship with the FIFA guys. Kalyan Chaube never had a relationship with FIFA, whatever he tells you. But hey, you guys know the relationship is broken down. The FIFA president or FIFA secretariat doesn't take India seriously. Post 2022, they've not taken us seriously. Whatever Kalyan says, Shaji says, Anil says, Satya says. But hey, you guys know. Sorry. What is your opinion on Hatim Ali? I don't have anything, Timmy, because I've never seen him play for India. Again, UAE youth product should be good. Have I seen him? Do I know him? No. So therefore, that's the problem, right? Everyone has an opinion on things, but I don't. I don't know which benefits they have of the most Asian or the one Muslim, but the way we manage things is pathetic. Simon, the point again. Let me try and understand the AFF in doing this, right? The money that the AFF currently has in its bank accounts or lying somewhere, I don't know, right? They don't have enough money to run the system until the end of the season. Let's be very, very clear. The AFF needs to find means and ways, and to generate money. And these people, they need to try and make money. They, again, ASEAN, you would have gotten a certain amount of money. Nice. But I think they're thinking that they can generate more money via the Brazil game. Will they do it? I have no idea. That is the only logic that I have. That you think, okay, I can make X, Y, Z, whatever the figure is. You know. So is it funny we're paying money to Brazil, knowing we're gonna get smacked and leaving the tournament where we actually could have proved a point? No, it's not funny, Shom. That's what I just said, right? If they are, and the point, the problem is, if the FF would do it properly, most probably you can earn much more money from the Brazil game than from participating in the ASEAN. But hey, once you lost the parliamentary fee and the trust of FIFA, they might not call us again. Sure, we've not lost the trust of FIFA because we don't have, FIFA doesn't have trust in us. Despite having no trust in us, they invited us. Guys, understand that. You guys think, yeah, what to say? Tired of AFF, they pulled out of FIFA ASEAN for good competitive tournament with supported teams. Let's see if they still find any recent team apart from Brazil finding AFF. You're worthless, says Shanata. Felt nicer to prioritize ASEAN over Brazil. Yeah, but that's the reality. Ashish himself is of the opinion the Federation has handled the situation badly, wanting to pass it for the same reasons many are saying, and that FIFA might have a change in mood. No, they won't after this. See, that's the point, Simon. If you would know FIFA and understand how FIFA thinks about us at the moment, you know, um, yeah. And there I would then say, Ashish, do you know what FIFA is thinking? No, you don't. Please then don't comment. So that's my point. All of you, even people in the media commenting about this whole thing, FIFA does not care about us, right? If FIFA cared about us, they would give us support us in a bigger way than they are at the moment, because I see it in other parts of the world. I'm actually working on something myself in Africa where there's massive FIFA support, not only for manpower, but even financially. So, reality. Where is Ranjit Bajaj? When they told to take responsibility, he's Gayab. That was a nice one. Days are here. Sorry, dark days are here. I was really looking forward for ASEAN FIFA Cup. Yeah, Jordan. Good evening, Dark Knight. AFF ignoring FIFA since 1950. I wouldn't say it is AFF. I would say India. In our arrogance, forget the AFF. Indian football in its arrogance. India in its arrogance in the late 40s, 50s, and even early 60s thought, FIFA AFC is not important. Asian Games and Olympics are important. So, so that's the thing. The sad reality of things in India, speaking the truth, makes you anti-national for a country of 1.6 billion. Our sports outcomes are so poor. I don't understand why the sports minister would say that. See, Sasha, the problem is that people who are doing anti-national work are being praised, na? And are being given platforms. That is the sin. No one is calling out these things, right? That's our biggest problem at the moment, right? So Pune has arranged New Zealand tour, so AFF can't choose Safo for it. Of course they can, Prasanjit. If you are in talking terms with the PMO, with the sports ministry, with the Indian Olympic Association, yeah. So therefore, that is the communication channels you should have, right? Serious, you know what? I had sneaky feeling that if we would have nicely had a camp and prepared well for the tournament, then we could actually go past group stage and prove everyone wrong. Sure, yeah, no, better not know me to say. India could have also fielded an all-foreign player teams made of ISL team against Brazil, and Indians could have still watched it as an exhibition match. Archana, Brazil are not playing an exhibition match. Brazil are playing FIFA matches, FIFA friendlies in that window. It's not about us. If Brazil is coming to India, they're playing a national team. They're not playing an ISL All-Star 11. There is another reason to pull out of the ASEAN Cup is because in one window only 4 matches are allowed. If we would have played ASEAN, it would have exceeded the limit. Yeah. Now it sounds bad what I say, but I'm not angry anymore reading such news around info. Yeah, Roshan, welcome to the club. I am sometimes indifferent because I sometimes know that these things are going to happen to us, right? Um, that's the sad part of where we stand at this moment in time. No? That you know, so that's the problem. That is a problem, no? Because if these guys do something good, that would be shocking, right? Or do something right. They do one thing right and 100 things wrong. That's the sad part. But if you talk to people at the FF, at the clubs, academies, you know, so what to say, right? From Saturday, Hockey World Cup is starting, but a recent performance in Pro League doesn't give me high hopes. Let's see. Prasanjit, Hockey World Cup happening? Do people care in Europe, for example, just to make that comparison? No. Well, the Indian football community lacks fact checking, and the FF opens up a Taurus box. No wonder why people are so divided of their opinions. Simon, it's not even divided on opinions. We have we have a plethora of opinions, right? Which is fine. I don't have a problem with it. The problem is a lot of people have opinions and mention them without knowing how things run, work, operate. In my opinion, that's the biggest problem, you know? And anyone can have an opinion. But if you want to have an opinion, you should have an informed opinion, or you need to know the background information of things. 99.99% are having opinions. They don't understand things because they're so complex. And Indian football, I always say that if you remove Kalyan Chaubey, nice. Bring in a new president with all positivity. Bring in the right person as president. If the rest of the system is rotten, the new president can't do anything. In this case, the fish stinks from the head. The problem is the whole fish is stinking, right? That's the problem. Did India literally spend about crores of money in expenditure like the FDA? Where did all the money go? Revenue, yes. If you think 50 crores is a lot of money, listen, the FF budget was 80 to 100, 120 crores over those years. It was there to cover costs of running, again, the I League teams, amongst the biggest beneficiary, I League teams with grants and subsidies and all that stuff. Now they are cribbing, right? FIFA invited us just because of our country size in terms of population and eyeballs. Yes, and FIFA wants India to be part of the global system, right? So that's the other thing. They want us to be part of it, but we are not valuing it, no. So you're going to do a live with Ashish like you do with Hiren. Show him. Ashish and I wanted to, actually, I wanted to attend one of the lives of Kill Now at their studios. And the last two trips, sadly, it hasn't, even Ashish and I haven't been able to meet even for a coffee. But I hope to do that in the near future. So yeah, so that's uh, I think more suitable than anything else. Problem is still the same in India. Still, Olympics and Asian Games winning is more important. Whereas in football, it has no value. Yeah, sure, in other sports as well. But again, we talk about it, and that's the problem we have. So people are saying you think this regime is good, proves they came in this sport the first time. I mean, seriously. Again, sadly, that was not from someone who's come in the first time who should know better, right? That is the problem. No? Arun Ji, how are you after long time age? See, anyway, gems of info pulled out of ASEAN Cup. Hypermaster, good to see you back. Yes. If a broken clock is right twice a day, surely they have to find one good moment. Sasha, I don't know if it has to be twice right a day, maybe 10 times, and then they might find the one right moment. Government has suspended TTFI's recognition over governance issues and delayed elections. That is the Table Tennis Federation of India. Yeah, sure. And then government can't do it. Actually, the IOA has to do it. I don't know, has the IOA suspended them or the government? If the IOA suspended them, right. If the government has suspended them, then it's third-party interference. Lesson to learn repeatedly, don't expect anything from someone. Temu, don't expect anything from that body. So that would be something. I also have the same opinion like you that even if we get a good president, if the ecosystem doesn't get better, we won't move ahead. Kalyan gone, another loser will come up in his position. Generally, it doesn't matter who the my thing is if I get the right president, right? To me, the more important thing is do I get the right administrative head of the AFF? To me, the AFF needs to have a position of a CEO, right? Who works on the administrative guy takes care of the administration, and the CEO takes care of vision, helping. Because normally the president is not that involved. Kalyan Chaubey is much more involved than Praful Patel, but is that helping? I don't think so. Right, Praful Patel was there when there was the need, when there were issues, when we needed something sorting out, or there was something representative. Will you see any good administrator right now in any state or AFF who can really take over the president role? Yeah, Arik. I have one person in mind. I even spoke to that person yesterday about that thing. But that person doesn't want to do it. I've got two, three people who I think could change things in the right direction. Sorry. So that's your biggest problem, no? You think India is not in a suitable position to host Olympics? We can hit, even hit 10 minutes properly, and a lot of issues, and the federation should use the base at first. Yeah. But anyway, hosting Olympics, hosting a World Cup, there's nothing to do that you're gonna win the tournament or could win the tournament, right? Then why did Qatar host it? Why did even the USA, Mexico, and Canada host it? Why are Saudis hosting it? Right. If I look at football, so Olympics is also about showing off. Um, but normally, if I look at China 2008 Beijing Olympics as a good example, China worked towards getting better, and let's wait and see. Bring anyone in the position until and unless our base doesn't get strong, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Sure, yes, but the base can, I feel, get strong in different positions with the right people, and it needs 5, 6 good projects across India which could change things, right? And I don't know if that will happen, but that would always be my hope. Right, 1 hour, 3 minutes. Quick reminder: if you haven't, please do like, please do share, please do subscribe to the channel. 14 likes of this video so far. As I say, please get more people to join us in our conversation, or listen at least, or even share the videos. I need that help from you guys. 4,734 is where we stand, so it means 266 subscribers needed to reach the 5,000 mark. As I say again, without your help, without your support, Arunfoot cannot grow, and that's clear. And short videos, do watch it. And so therefore, yeah, and the support is as needed. And watch the short videos, like them, hype them, comment on them, and need your support. Do you at any point think Kalyan Chaub and the AFF get over scapegoated? Like they're obviously a very incompetent federation, but many think they blame on them, which aren't their fault too. Yeah, I mean, that surely is the case, right? Therefore, in the one of the instance, most probably I said, oh, you know what, the AFF is not to be blamed for this or that. And then people say, oh, you know what, you're supporting the AFF. I'm not supporting the AFF, right? We're allowing others to get away with murder, right? We should ask the clubs, we should ask the academies, our coaches. Who's asking the coaches? The question is, what are you producing? Right? That's the problem. What do you think about Indian government not allowing Indian men and women football team participation games due to its foolish policy? Avi, you might think it's a foolish policy. It is the policy of the government of India. So, um, yeah. But what is the women's team to me made sense. The men's, what did they do last time? They said, oh, you know what, you have to take Gurpreet, Sunil, and Sandesh in the team. What's the value of that team? Right. So therefore, it's, yeah. Why are not you willing to take to a position? I think because the person, as realizes in what situation we are in. Sir, isn't it funny that when this regime came, they already had plans for 2047 in football? What will happen tomorrow? We don't know, and then they already had such big vision. Yeah, so that's the thing you sell, no? What is Indian football? People are selling your dreams left, right, and center without actually doing the things which are needed to sort out the things in this very, very moment. Another, who took the decision to opt out of Asian Cup? Is it Kalyan Chauba, the Exco, or some other body within AFF? Uh, who opted out? In the end, AFF Exco, because the president, no, sorry, the deputy secretary general presented it at the Exco. The priority, it was decided that the Brazil match would be the priority, and the next step was to try and allow India to send a B team to the FIFA ASEAN Cup, which of course FIFA declined. And then they said, thank you very much, Tata, Babu, we're opting out. Right? I'm sorry to say, Brazil match with the coordinate FF sales communication gap. No, Hypermaster, again, it's not about organizing the match and missing the communication. There, again, I've done a couple of videos on this whole thing. Watch those short videos and then you will understand. This is the president of Meghalaya Federation, Orik. I don't think he's huge. It's a good question. Let me just check one thing at the back end. If Meghalaya football, is Eugene the president? No, I don't think Eugene is the president. No? Or am I wrong? I might be wrong. 1 second. Uh, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. No, president is Hamletson Doling, right? And Eugene Singh is not part of the Meghalaya Football Association, right? And I don't know where he's part of the AFF Exco, right? This statement that Kanji gave about playing Brazil is similar to that striker's crash course. He doesn't make sense when he speaks, and once in a while he likes to give funny statement like this. Hey Neil, I ran with a Bundesliga too and fell in love with it. There's a lot of talent who can play in the first tier easily. Is the fan culture and lower tiers so passionate? Yes, yes, it is. It's 4th Heatwave here, 37 degrees. How is it in Germany? Neil, we had 32 degrees today. I was in Leverkusen over the day. There it was 35. So in the Rhine Valley, 35, 36. So in my opinion, problem with our community is deep. The majority flood the social wanting to know only transfers and updates. So if the problems around are non-existent, I'm not saying they're ignorant. But I believe it's about the lack of awareness which surrounds it. Many don't think the way you do, given your expertise, and also are misguided. Simon, you're spot on. Let's just take East Bengal Mohun fans, right? As my prime example. They care about their club, you know. But and which is fine, right? Where is the player coming? Where's the player going? So therefore, for me, that's fine. But the problem is for me is that even people who should know better don't know better. So therefore, that is when the problem, in my opinion, starts. And yeah, so therefore, let's wait and see. But it's gotten worse. It's gotten much worse over the last few months, and it's not helping because Indian football fans, to me, are desperate to have positive results, which we don't have. So whenever statements like this come, you should use the word called jumla, which means the trap being set up to please someone. Okay. So can you tell me who are the guys who told him that India's football market 400 crore, not 50 crore, given by S is there today? He told this in his life. Shaji Prabhakar and Kalyan Chaubey. I'm generalizing it, just my opinion. You're not generalizing, Simon. Your assessment is spot on, in my opinion. From that, you're very, very right. Sadly, you're very, very right with that. And again, the question is, how can we rectify those things? How can people come, you know, and how can we work on those? Well, possibly plays India and ASEAN Cup. Borhan, Bangladesh, I guess, would be likely candidate, and supposedly Sri Lanka as well. There are not too many options that they have. If the government policy is that only the top 8 sports that assure medal for India event like the Asian Games or Olympics are given priority, I'm okay with that. But what about the sports There are not the top eight at the world of national level. Are you investing in them? No. What are you doing to them? Nothing. The policies are ridiculous and illogical. Timo, no, it's not illogical. You want to promote their logic is to promote top talent and focus that with their tops programs and other things, right? We've had conversations about this I've had at least with the IOA. The problem is that the government, in their approach, right or wrong, thinks that if a sport is at some level, then we can talk about it and then we can push it to the next level. And but they're not going to say, listen, if you are like India 138 ranked in football and you are 25th, 26th in Asia, we're not going to push it. Right or wrong? That's the problem. Is there any upcoming South Asian talents in Germany ecosystem tracking anyone there? Yeah, Renal, there are few boys who could. Hear me out. I feel AF is not wrong to choose Brazil or ASEAN. It's once in a lifetime opportunity for our players to play Brazil. ASEAN risks us losing those matches we have in the past. But now we can hopefully arrange two good friendlies before Brazil against these opponents would help in boosting our rankings. Um, the Waves, I don't know who's available to play. You know, so question is, yeah, does it work? Doesn't it work? Maybe your approach is right. But my question is, if we're saying that the AFF says we're going to play Capo Verde, we're going to play Uruguay, where I don't know where the window of these two teams is, um, and um, and you're trying to be smart by mentioning those names. It doesn't work, in my opinion. So therefore, that's the part of the problem. No? So I don't even know because the worst case could be that these African countries could be playing qualifiers, right, in later this year. So yeah. So 1 second, guys. I need to just 1 second. Sorry, no sound. Sorry. Let me restart. So the waves. Um, um, Let me start with that. The thing. Let's see who India plays, because it plays makes no sense to play a Maldives and then say we're playing Brazil. So that's the reality. Sir, can we get a good opposition? Our government will continue with this Kalyan Chaudhuri regime. How sportsmen is saying we're improving. Auric, I go back to 2022. I think 2 3 days before the FF presidential elections, Kalyan Chaudhuri was nowhere in the picture, right? So that's the reality of things, right? So that therefore that is something which I need to remember when I'm looking at things within the FF, right? Um, right. So yeah, reality of things, reality, hard, brutal reality of Indian football. Right. Good night, Shoham. Today I worked a lot. Body is fatigued now, and listening to this news gives me more tiredness. Yeah, sadly. I think South Asia, it's its own delusion. Saw Bangla hyping up the win with San Marino, India in their own bubble. Realistically, I don't see any South Asian teams not even on the fifth spot anytime soon. Yeah, let's see. Even Ashish and Marcus often gets frustrated for the same reasons. Yeah, they would be. Earlier we were laughing at AFL, now other countries will laugh at us. No. Babalu's, no one, nothing changes. They've been laughing at us anyway. I think we need to find lower ranked team to improve ranking in September. Elebina, let's see. Can Provoda stand for election again? Is his cooling time gone? Yes, his cooling time is gone, but let's see. I know usually lower division players from the I League, etc., shouldn't be selected for national. But what about if an army player or someone doesn't perform the Duran Cup against ISL teams? Timmy, the Duran Cup is not the platform. That's your problem. So I don't think if a player plays well in the Duran Cup that he should be looked at and considered for the national team. If you ask me, that would be my clear cut opinion. To be very honest with you. On that front, right? Again, even if you perform in a one match in the Duran Cup, yeah, what does it prove? That you're better than the others? I don't think so. Can a huge margin defeat in front of international media and crowd against Brazil make government more serious about football in India? No, not it. Listen, it would be normal if we lose 4-5-0 to Brazil. If we lose 3-0, I would say huge success. 7, 8, 9, then becomes a problem. Sorry. Another, don't you feel if Bangladesh and Pakistan makes progress in football, will eventually force our federation government to work and compete against them? This is typical Indian mentality in all sport. No. Bangladesh is already better than us. Has it changed anything since last year? No. It's made matters worse. But football is a sport that needs investment. Reaching the Asian Cup or the World Cup and climbing up the FIFA rank is only possible through a process itself requires investment. I don't know about other sports, but football is a sport where you need to invest. You're not even used your diaspora to uplift the sport, which would also raise the burden of investment. That's why I'm saying. Timo, you're saying that, but again, explain that to the government. The government or governments over the years have not understood how football works. Football is in a way very unique, right? You know, so reality. Would you say Kalyan Chawla had a good career as a player? Like he's a good, he got keep of there, but he never played for national. Was more than equal in B? No. Decent. Sorry, NFL goalkeeper. Nothing more, nothing less. And equivalent is very difficult to say. No one comes to mind who's equivalent in that way. This is the time we need to use the previously used tactic of rank pushing by playing lower level opponents as we did around 2023. By playing, yeah, Simon, yes. Um, we should, but again, there is no plan behind that, no? Well, I said start on 4th September. There's no bidder for broadcasting. Are we 4th September is out of the picture for a long time. I don't know where you've been. The bidding is in a way we are at the moment October, and now people are raising questions if October is realistic. So September was never an option. Huh? So that's the thing. And there is one bidder for the broadcast. Who do you think should play in goal against Brazil? Gurpreet Singh Sandhu. Timmy. There is no question, no competition about who is the best goalkeeper in India at this moment in time. So in 2022, I really wanted Kalyan to win against Baichung because I thought he can bring good money as he's a BJP man. And understand is the lowest leader in West Bengal too. He lack connection like Praful Patel. Arik, should I break it to you? Sadly, again, Baichung, with all due respect, Bhutia, um, Kalyan or Baichung, none of the two were the right president, right? So for me, the issue is very simple. Praful Patel as a political leader, and before that, Preranjan Dasmunsi, the two that I saw before Kalyan, they were of a different level. They're a different breed. Kalyan and Baichung don't fall into that. That's the problem. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to this whole carnival. Honest raw level rank also difficult because they use diaspora talent. Yeah. Elevina, that's another thing, no? Right? Even SAF and New Zealand game is missed who to play and whom not in which tournament. Yeah. Indeed. Again, another issue. Another debate is going on about FC Goa's lack of preparation versus Arkadak. Many think that they should have used this as upcoming their match fitness and sharpness, but do we realize that this is the same? Again, Arkadak played the non-season of ACL 2 and lost narrowly to Nasser. Simon, they don't realize that even if FC Goa did their best, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan most probably would have lost to Arkadak, right? So therefore, for me, these conversations um, are nice to have, but people forget where we stand, right? So therefore, um, that's our problem, no? Right? So to me, I don't know. Um, it's the way it is, and it's think about it that Ahal was better than the others last season. Just looking back, so that's your problem, no? And don't forget that East Bengal lost to Alti Nasir at home, also from Turkmenistan. So Turkmenistan teams better than us. It's very normal. And FC Goa underprepared, yeah, most probably. So um, a strong, a big team. You know. So to me, Mangi has a very tough job on hand. Would you think the best option of the AFF job would be someone from an ISL club board or a state board? I think um, if you ask me about the top job, I would think that there are a few people in the state associations. I don't see anyone in the ISL clubs because they are fighting their own battles and not sorting things out. So yeah, that would be my thing. Praful should come back and contest election. Madras Panda, that is a decision that Praful Patel himself needs to take. You know, uh, you know. So yeah, that's the problem. And Praful Patel coming back, not coming back, it's his decision, and there's a lot of things in the background. Baichung today stating in front of Bengali media that instead of 50 crore Brazil match, AFF should give money to East Bengal for ACL. This is insane. Arik, yeah. A good or even a decent administrator. You need the right people to come in, and these right people are not at the moment in the system. We had them, as I say, Kushal Das, Sunanda Dhar, we had good people in the system. We don't have them at the moment. And that is the reality. And yeah, let's see. South Asian countries have started utilizing diaspora. India will seriously like that. Yeah, it's going to become a problem in the coming years. We have somehow end up the way FIFA have when going from Sepp Blatter to Gianni Infantino. Yeah, Simon, and that is the reality. I've had a few interactions with Sepp Blatter. Again, there are a few things that of course are not a few. There are quite a number of things that are questionable about him. But if I look at it from an Indian standpoint, Gianni Infantino just continued what Sepp Blatter started. I go back 2007, sitting in South Africa, suddenly says, my friends, and this is a pre-World Cup thingy, saying, hey, don't forget me, India. Look at India, support India, this and that. I'm like, wow, Sepp Blatter, right? So, yeah. FC Goa this year looks weak in the LA Bina. FC Goa generally looks weak. FC Goa the team that started yesterday is nowhere the team that it was last. Forget last year, the year before, right? Last year already they were weakened. They've gone from a top contender ISL team to now someone who might fight relegation in the worst case. After what Kalyan Chauba has done to Indian football, I don't trust anyone in the AFF. That's right. What do you think are the chances of ex-Indian player role in the AFF being cancelled in future? Timmy, if I have anything to say with it, I would. That's the first thing I would tell the government and the Indian Olympic Association that needs reform because it is something which makes no sense. If someone is qualified, your qualification is that you are an ex-athlete. You don't even understand a lot of athletes, and again, no disrespect, and what to say. So it needs to change. No respect to Gaurav Singh. Do you think foreign coach could have made difference to FC Goa match was Akadak? No. Roshan, maybe they would have done the one other thing differently, but again, the quality is the quality. So Arkadak would have beaten, even a Manolo Marquez led team, right? And never forget, last season it was hyped a lot. Uh, um, because Alcib we beat because Drazic handball in the box wasn't given. Right? How does the FF inside election works? Demo, it's a very complex thing and something again, certain things I don't want to talk in public. Any update, Adubral Capri sir? Capri has started Nova Sports. Does that mean that will exist? I have no very good question. I've not heard anything on that. You know, so uh, I thought the problem is that the AFF, you know, so this is a problem. You know, so let's wait and see what happens. But um, you know, so let's see. Oh wow, okay, interesting. Sky Sports has quoted me. Oops. Oh, thanks. Okay, okay, nice. Right. Would you have someone like Pradhan Reddy would be better for a technical committee role than some of the current members? Timmy, theoretically, yes. But again, difficult. The favorite league in world football which excites you more than any other, the Bundesliga. I'm born and brought up in Germany, so Mahesh, watching German football is what excites me the most. If you ask me that way. So why clubs don't take Asian competitions when they cry for sustainability? A good performance in AFC Champions League will give them growth because we're not good enough. Sustainability, Asian competition, yes, you can make money, but you also have to spend money. What's on Mumbai? We could do well. It's too early to say. Let us see what kind of squad. Um, Manolo getting in Robson and Wilma. I've heard Mumbai also to sign Sun and JFC shut down. That's why the Waves let Sujay and let Manolo Marquez, who have experience of working together and forming a formidable Hyderabad team in a small budget. Again, I think Manolo this season at least wants to bring in experienced players. Um, so therefore, for me, let's see, um, they can do well, but again, a massive rebuild. Does the weather play a crucial role yesterday in East Bengal? 100% Timo. I said that yesterday in my live. I said it also in the video this morning that without the weather, um, mm, who knows? I thought Al Arabi were the better team in the 90 minutes. Um, and again, great free kick, great goal from Jay Gupta to get us there. And then in extra time, the longer the match lasted, of course, we get that second. So yeah, so that's surely a factor. Like you said before regarding IFA club license, not just well as trying to enter ISL thoughts. Mahesh, the clubs need to stop it. I think there is a governance issue which the AFF cannot address. Because if a club has been relegated to the third tier and you're saying that the club can buy the license of another team and then play the first tier, then that is a problem, you know. So that is something, Uh, so that's the thing. There is no future for Indian football, no progress on a downward trend. No, Madras, Panda, I think that, uh, you know, and yeah, let's see. And yeah, no disrespect, Roshan. It's a valid question that you can ask, but I think which coach, you could have brought in Pep Guardiola or someone and said, oh, you know what, can you do something with FC Goa in that game? And then to me, I don't see what some the quality it was there. Look at Arkadag. Of course, Bob Jackson makes a howler, the first one which is offside luckily, and the first one, the first goal, and then you see that his confidence is totally down, and um, you know. So, sir, your thoughts, Vishwaguru and AFF pulling out of ASIAN Cup. 299 ka recharge, it was on the cards. Na? AFF wants to play the first team against Brazil. They wanted to send a B team or under 23s, whatever it would have been. And FIFA said, no, thank you. So we're out. What would you say is the lowest division, which would be good enough for national team? I think sixth, but I'm not sure. Yeah. National League or National League North or South, the one or the other player could surely be an issue. What's your take if ever would choose junior sports deal? Things may be more sustainable this year in your football ecosystem. Arik, very difficult to say. I think sustainability, we're very far away from sustainability. Again, it's great to talk about sustainability, but as long as clubs don't reduce the weight structure in the league, there is no sustainability. It's nice talking all of it. But it's a big problem, and yeah. So um so therefore for me, let's wait and see what happens. I know that right now Gopal is easiest, the best keeper in India by far, but who do you think out of the young ones would be the next option after he retires? I don't think Tiwari is a good idea. I think Tiwari is the only one that I see as the younger ones at the moment, to be honest, Timmy. I think Tiwari is the best of the younger lot. Yeah, and then we'll have to see. How was Priyanka as Munshi president? Some say he was very good president. We got a lot of things started when AFF had no structure. So from that perspective, I would have said it was good, right? Alberto Colasso, secretary, and him did a lot of good job. Also, think that Sunil Vishwans from Army Red call up to national team to Kafa, ridiculous, useless. Because with all due respect, outside his age, nothing to do in the national team. Bashim Rashid is the exact player profile I said clubs desperately needed in AFC competition. Sadly, we didn't. Yeah. But again, with Rashid also, a lot of injuries, a lot of this, here, that, so to me, that was yesterday a captain's performance. You can't just throw Bob like he's a starter already. Same thing happened with Soam in Kerala. He's the future successor of Ritik, but not now. Simon, Ritik is gone. Ritik is Tata bye-bye. You don't have options. So then you have to throw in these young keepers, no? That's your problem. No? That's your problem of the system of who do you play and why, where, when, right? So to me, yeah, sorry. And that again, sometimes you will be exposed, as you said rightly. Shom was not ready for ISL football, for senior level football. Good that he's gone back to Slovenia, and hopefully he does better. And so therefore for me, but again, who would you have played, right? I don't know who, if the others were available or not. Can a club really sell its license and a club can buy it? It's legal even in world football or just in football thing? In world football, no one would do that. Right? Normally you don't do that. Even in the franchise leagues, I wouldn't know that in the US, you can only be an expansion franchise. You can't buy the existing franchise of someone, but you can shift, that places. What about Nora? Because Tiwari is tall, but he's really poor goalkeeping IQ. I think Nora is not an option. I think Tiwari is the best one. And I don't know why you're saying poor goalkeeping IQ. Thanks for the stream, sir. We're going to try now. Timmy, all the best. And did FCO just play in the training kits for the game? No, that's I think the away kit, right? If I'm right. It's similar to Mohammed and keep an idea what his name is, but he had a horrible performance in Durand Cup. Ah, see, we have a again. If I look at Gurpreet, if I look at Amrinder at that generation, and then the next one's coming up, we have a void. No, we have a talent void in goalkeepers also, which we never had, right? So this also is sort of drying up. Especially Bengal and Punjab have produced a lot of very good quality goalkeepers, but also that is that is seems to be in a very difficult situation, and and so yeah, and so so therefore for me, I don't know, if you ask me, goalkeepers could become a problem because the next generation of goalkeepers isn't ready. If I look at Prabsukan, Pubala Chempa, you know so yeah. Oh, I thought they were the same kids who were training. Maybe wrong. Simon, maybe they wore that. Maybe they don't have training kits yet, and that's why they wore that. So yeah. Sir, given your opinion, aspect of spending more money in European footballers, but African with less budget are special and suitable for new tradition or whether no. Like, um, African footballers cheaper. Again, it's a hit and miss, right? The days that you try and you have luck and it works for you, um, nice. I think those are over. And yeah. Hey, Vikram, I'm sweating like anything. It's very, very hot here still. What is it showing? 26 degrees outside. Yeah, you might not feel it. And I said it at the start of the show that in Europe, buildings are built in such a way that heat is kept in. I've got a fan here under my feet, which is running. That's a nice thing, but otherwise, I'm just sweating. Otherwise, I'm fine. How you rated yesterday's East Bengal gameplay? Can't expect top level gameplay or skill, but still work done with less fun players. Vikram, in the 90 minutes, let's be very clear. Yesterday, heavy rains, monsoons, hot, humid, not a good game from both the teams. And Al Arabi had the chances to win it, didn't score, did get a penalty. East Bengal gets the credit of getting the equalizer in the 90th minute from that Jay Gupta header, who didn't have a good game. Let's also be honest about that. But, and extra time you felt Al Arabi sort of getting tired, and it showed, and East Bengal took advantage of that, right? So for me, um, that's a that's a yeah, that worked, and yeah, let's wait and see what happens, right? I see Goalkeeper is a department which also has been affected with the lack of talent. Simon, exactly. That's my feeling. Now, if I see what have I seen in the last 25 years, Virendra Singh, Shangram Mukherjee, Sandeep Nandi, Shubhato Pal, Gurpreet, Amrinder, you know, Arindam, Shubhashish in the middle, even at youth level, regular ISL, I League goalkeepers. Yeah. So every club must have their own built stadium. Or they have an access to a stadium. Uh, a lot of them own the stadiums, but sometimes it's also owned by the cities. So yes, they always have an access to a stadium. I like Justin Amar's performance though. Yeah, Simon. Hey Raj, welcome back. How do you rate David Nansen as a prospect? I don't, Hitesh. Overrated because and yesterday again you saw he came in, scored his goal, which is good for him. But for international level, yeah, right. So therefore at international level, I remember I saw him nearly 2 years ago in the derby where he had to be the marksman for East Bengal against I think it was Alberto Rodriguez and Tom Eldred, if I'm not wrong, for Mohun Bagan. He didn't see the day of light, and that's the problem. He's good when he comes on. He's a good super sub for ISL, even maybe for AFC standards in this kind of a match, but bigger teams no chance. Devjit Mojumdar to some extent in his peak years. Actually, yeah, Debu was good in his peak. Yeah. So therefore, yeah. Again, as I say, I started early 2000s. Virender Singh, who later on was then coaching at Salgaoka. I don't know where Virender is at the moment. Shongram Mukherjee, very talented goalkeeper at that time, came up. Then Shondip Nundi, sometimes the crazy Shondip. And then Shubhrata Pal. Shubhrata Pal took over. Bob Houghton trusted him, built him up. Shubhashish Roy Chaudhuri as his understudy, Arundam as his understudy. And then when Arundam, I remember 2011, when Arundam got injured, a very young Gurpreet Singh Sandhu came as the number 3 goalkeeper to the Asian Cup 2011. So and then Shubhato and Gurpreet sort of have carried the national team over the last 20 years, I would say. I've seen not to be compared with the list you mentioned. Yeah, yeah, obviously, yeah. I don't know, they actually make this save in finals of 2016. Yeah, Raj, very good. Dheeraj became a what if sadly. Simon, I remember 2021 AFC under 23 um, Asian Cup qualifiers. And you saw him um, on the line very good, but sometimes very poor when he had to, his judgment of running out of the goal. And sorry. Um, so Dheeraj, that was the problem. I remember also was a couple of years back when he was at FC Goa, and then Manolo took him off because coming out off his line. And that is the sad part with Dheeraj on the line, a great keeper. But I guess overrated if you see maybe the one or the decision also, not to play in the Indian Arrows team, rather to go abroad with trials and other stuff. Yeah, very, very important. So after understand what they are. Right now, only Vishal Keth is good goalkeeper. Even Vishal Arik, I've said this a lot of times, and he proved it last year for the India. Overrated. Very, very overrated. Krishana Dev was very diminutive, but had very good skills in dribbling. Hitesh, only heard stories about him. Don't, I was most probably too young to remember his game. His comment section on Durham Cup turned off. Such no idea. Lechempa versus Gill, would you choose goalkeeper for East Bengal? That's a good challenge. I think Prabh Sukat has the advantage that's been playing at the club, but um, you know, um, and so therefore for me, um, I think Gill has an advantage. Chempa likes the challenge. If you remember, also when he came to Mumbai City, not rated at all, worked his way up and then became the number one. So let's see. Thoughts on Changte moving to Monma Super Giant. Mahesh, as a well wisher of Changte, as someone who's known the boy now for I think 11, 12 years, helping him to get a trial at Viking Stavanger in 2019. Love to see him at Mumbai City. Love to see him as captain of Mumbai City. I'm disappointed, of course, right? So if I look at it from his perspective, looking at the contract offer, uh, you know, um, yeah, it works for him financially. So I'm happy for the boy. But as someone who is an islander by heart, I feel sad that he's joined Mohan Super Giants. The same thing what I said about Apuya as well before that. Those are kind of boys where I think, but again, that's football, and I wish him all the best. I want him to play well because he needs to play well for India. But as someone who is with a Mumbai City fan, I am disappointed. Good evening, Moinok. Yesterday I went to Salt Lake Stadium, watched the entire match, and does you were so correct in assessing Edmund is lacking maturity and decision making. Yeah, Moinok. I mean, I saw him in at the Unity Cup, and that it clearly became evident. And again, a friend of mine assessed him in Canada. Um, yeah, so sad because he is one of the better ones. I remember seeing him, a very young Edmund, at BFC. He came on loan to East Bengal. Again, promise injury and all that stuff, but yeah, the realities. Is there any specific reason why so many sponsors don't cup? It's a tournament, or because it's the army, right? Therefore, a lot of there are cross connections. I don't even know if all these companies who are mentioned in the tournament actually sponsors or not. Mizoram has become a sporting state, is producing players in women's hockey and football. Hitesh, Mizoram has been a sporting state now for a few years. They're also producing players in boxing and other sports as well. So yeah, they're doing well. Swimming goal against Guam. I don't know why his career went wrong. He had injuries. Um, and again, could he have done better? Yeah, most probably yes. Um, but I wouldn't say that something went wrong in his career. If you look at him at the career and now look at him also as an expert on television and all that stuff, Robin has done a lot of things right, which others I think would love to have achieved. Shilton Paul, how was he? Shilton, decent I League slash ISL goalkeeper. Um, yeah, had a few very good seasons. Purva played top game against Al Hilal, best performance at Asian level. Yeah, Vikram, again, Purva has had those, but again, also like last season, sometimes had those weird blunders, and that makes it sort of always a problem, no? Uh, with someone like him. And yeah, so that's the problem with someone like him to me. And yeah, what to say? So reality of things. Chantan once again chose the same thing which he did in 2019. Yeah, sadly in a way. Same thoughts for me about Sul Bhatt. I wish he moved to any small team which give more game time. Yeah, Mahesh. But again, tournament like Don't Cup should stop. It's so pathetic. Don't know why some Isaac is playing with main team with state league teams. Because Auric, there is certain pressure from governments and army to play it. Simply said. That's why all of them are playing now. Where is Renesh TP? Mumbai City, Elebina. At the moment, number one has some competition, but at the moment, TP Renesh is the number one goalkeeper. Yeah, for um, for um, Mumbai City. So that's the thing. People don't realize we don't have players pool to play 16 to 20 ISL teams. Yeah, that's, as I say, we should be thinking about a 10-team league rather than a bigger league. But again, who's gonna tell you that? And um, yeah, that's the challenge of where we stand at this moment in time. Manipur produce so many players in sports because the youth thinks that only way to get a job or have a good life is to engage in sports because there's a lack of industry and jobs. And civil unrest, Hitesh, you missed the biggest one. Therefore, that's your bigger problem. So that's the challenge. And to me, yeah, I don't know um, what works, what doesn't work. But the challenge is there, and um, that's the biggest challenge at the moment. For me, Kratpi over Manlo. For me as well. So, but I want to see what Monroe can do at Mumbai City. I'm really excited about that. First time history under this year, I've organized 4 tier division, but by next year all are gone. No, Rick, they've now done it twice. How do you see East Bengal's qualification to ACL2? Mono, it's good in a way, but um, yeah, it will be a tough ask. Lobera Manola are overrated coaches. No, I don't think they're overrated. They've done very well for themselves. 10 teams, it's fine for me. It's just that we need more games. Yeah, Simon. Again, play thrice. Play 40 matches. That's your biggest challenge, no? So um, yeah. So that's the thing, no? Biggest. Um, so therefore, for me, that's the challenge, and yeah, would always be interesting to see. But again, who's gonna make the call? Who's gonna say, let's do the right thing? And that's gonna be the challenge for us. But yeah, that's um, any upcoming talents you're sad to see in this year's Arsenal. Sachin, I go in with a clean slate. I look at the players and then think about which player would make sense to watch, to see, and um, yeah, for me, that's I think the challenge, and therefore let's wait and see. I don't have any favorites. If only four five clubs will pay money to play AFL, what AFL will do, sir? Any idea? Or no idea? Yeah, it's a danger, right? So let's see. I don't know. Both the leagues are in that danger. I still ISL also. I've got too many teams, but I don't know who's playing, who's not playing. There's a news regarding some of the ex-players of East Bengal reached FIFA due non-payment or salary. Do you have any news regarding that? Monik, I've heard it from somewhere. Someone has told it to me that there is some supposedly pending, but no one has confirmed that to me. Till when the ISL club CEO will play victim talk? Raj, ask them. The best going teams were the 2015, 17 to 20 and 21 ACL until date. Most probably. Yeah. Great teams, huh? Great teams, great coaches. I mean, Pele, as Pele, I'm saying Zico, sorry, not Pele. Zico had a great team at the time, and yeah, great to see what they had at the time, and yeah, great. Yeah, it's crazy to think in the year 2026, we're again, like last year, um, that we are again in this mess, and still there's no decision, and it makes things very difficult, in my opinion, very difficult, because we still have we're not there where we want to be, right? And that's a big problem. Right, 1 hour 52 plus minutes. Quick reminder: if you haven't, please do give it a like. 23 of you have pushed the like button. The others, please do as well. Share with other people, and also, if you haven't, please do subscribe to the channel. Help Arunfoot grow. And we're at 4,735 as of today. Thank you very much. And watch the short videos, guys. Spread it, press the like button, hype it, comment on it so more people can reach these articles as well. I still got new CEO or not? No, correct. Nothing, no information. Even I have applied, so let's see when they come back. Any chance Imami could come back after East Bengal reach ACL 2? No, Roshan. For them, it's too costly. ACL 2 is a cost to East Bengal. If purchasing club license could be used to play in ISL, then why should play I League? Raj, the point is very simple. If you're playing the lower tiers and you could buy an expansion franchise, I still am fine with that. Here the problem is, uh, uh, um, here the problem is very simple. Um, if Churchill is relegated to I League 2 because you didn't play I League, um, then how can you play ISL? And my question is also, if Aizawl FC is saying thank you very much, Arunava, bye, how can Nagaland United simply buy them and take their place? I thought I League was, again, where are those guys who defended the I League or the IFL? Always, oh, this is a real league. It's not a franchise league. It's not this, it's not that. At the end of the day, it's the same thing, right? That team with with Ivan, Edu, Noguera, Angulo, Ortiz, Jesuraj, Jackie Chand, Brandon, Sheraton, Glenn Martins. Yeah, very good. Bah. Um, who's the goalkeeper? Who was the good question? Who's the goalkeeper? Uh, 1 second. Let me see. Lakshmikant Katimani. Yes. And then it was actually Mohammed Nawaz. Mohammed Nawaz played at 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21. And then Dheeraj, and then, yeah, they did it, yeah. Do you see any justification playing Brazil after spending so much money and neglecting ASEAN? Manok, even if I want to give it a 2%, 1%, you know, um, jur- uh, 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 um, so for me, the biggest challenge here is that, again, if I want to try and understand from their perspective, they're thinking, um, maybe trying to make money because they need money. They don't have enough money. Sorry, let me just put the lights on. So therefore, that's the only one which I have. You applied. Hope you will get the opportunity. Hope you get people who really care about football. Thanks, Ulrich. I did. Yes, I've communicated it publicly. So if people want to know it is nothing which I'm making like in the past. I would have not said it now. Again, in the social media world, you have to say it. So let's see. East Bengal, even after winning, losing investor, now in ACL two, they need money to compete. Yeah, 100%. They need. Yeah. Dheeraj Singh, yes, Nawaz, those were the days. Dheeraj was also a goalkeeper. Oh yeah, MVP in ACL. Yes, Dheeraj was actually, and so yeah. You applied for IS here role. Who reached out to you? Raj, certain people did. As last time around for league commissioner, I thought about it. I also reached out to certain people. I spoke to certain people, and then thought, why not? So, so therefore, for me, um, my thought was, you know, um, my positions are clear. I think I bring uh, a set of knowledge, values, understanding potentially into the role which these guys need, right? But are they willing to listen, both AFF, both the clubs? That's the question. And if I don't, and last time around again, I was under the top three candidates before they then decided not to appoint a league commissioner. So let's wait and see if they're willing to do it or not. Again, I've made my step. If they don't, again, will they make money from this match? Mona, that's the big question. I think they have to think that they can make money out of it. Therefore, they're doing that. They need money. They need 10, 15, 20 crores to make somewhere on the side to run the whole season. And maybe they think that they can make some money out of this game. Right? Again, that's the reality. How big was East Bengal achievement? SK, it was massive. And statement win, when you win 4-1, in the way that you won, because that was important. Because, you know, for 89 minutes, I would have thought, okay, they're out. And I think most people would have thought that as well. And now let's see what kind of a group they get. Won't be easy. It will be tough. But again, they're in the group stages. So that's good. Can CEO simply make a salary cap rule? No. Like the CEO has to discuss with the clubs, with the AFF. Are they willing to do it? Are they not willing to do it? And that's the challenge now with this whole conversation. So, no. What's the expectation from Brazil match, sir? Bikram, nothing much at the moment. You know, you know. So we'll have to wait and see what happens in that game. Again, we're still a few weeks out, and let's see. It would be the first decision. She become the CEO. What will be? I don't know. Was good enough at all? Why not? I thought they were, again, you were at the ground. My feeling was they were the better of the two teams for 90 minutes, right? Um, didn't have the finishing, but otherwise, and again, it wasn't a good game. I don't know how you were feeling in the stadium. It looked to me very hot, stuffy. But yeah, actually, East Bengal achievement is big because they achieved with only two foreigners in first 11. Like, yeah, but again, then you say it's big, but then I'll say, oh, you know what? The weather, the monsoons, the humidity, those are factors in favor of the club. Again, yeah, it's after the second goal went in, I think it was done and dusted. If you become ISL CEO, what are the changes you would like to see? Acha, if I become Sachin, I would have to analyze what is the given, and then we'd have to see what can be. For me, that's a big thing, and yeah. So let's see. Um, um, for me, uh, it's not so easy. So yeah. So therefore, for me, massive thing, and let's see where we Um, you know, so therefore that's the reality. So let's wait and see what happens. Nishi was very humid, then start to have a cool breeze. Okay. Okay. Thanks for the clarification. Right, 2 hours. And yeah, that's slowly coming to an end of this live on this Thursday. Um, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and keep on supporting our own foot. And so that's the thing. Sorry. I think if you get the role, you can work with the great current Japanese community. It can be managed, can all be. And what then decide was so poor. Yeah. If your point is you bring money to the league will also be difficult. Raj, that is all. One can get in and then one can see what the reality is, right? If you think that if someone like me comes in tomorrow like a wonder, the ISL will be a success, it will not work. But you have to work towards it. Again, my first thing, if I would get that role, would be to analyze where do we stand, what is the reality, and how. My first thing, as I've said this in the past, what's the situation with the clubs playing? Yeah. The thing we lost the most reliance how aggressively they tried to market the league, the sport, and a whole new level of professional, which was a bonus. Yeah, but that was the first 3 years. And then they also fizzled out on that, Simon. Right. So also that. Right. With that, thank you very much. Good night. And I'll catch you tomorrow with another Indian football and more discussion with Arunava Chaudhuri here on Arun Foot. Like, share, and subscribe. Watch my short videos and support. Thanks. Good night.